Well, it's rare pros speak out against EA and the hand that feeds them, but it did happen today. Actually, I think yesterday is when it was. We'll talk about that. We'll look at the clip. Our competition is still nowhere to be seen. Days keep going on, nowhere to be seen. We kind of expected this, though. Pack leaks as well. We've got some things to talk about. Market movements, the whole 9 yards. I did say yesterday, well, actually, I thought I was going to say, and I wanted to say, but I didn't say yesterday, that if we got the 81 plus player pick and not the 82 plus, again, re-upped, I was going to riot. And we did indeed get the 81 plus player pick back, but it is this time one of 4 at least. I will say I've done like 15 or 20 of these, and it was not any better than the one of 3. It was not any better at all. If you guys want to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. The link is in the description. Use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. If this was better for you than one of 3, tell me. I think the 81 plus player pick sucks. It's terrible for me, no matter how many options they seem to give. Also, I decided to not do the England objective. I decided not to do it, and one of the main reasons was because Dabinia is just too fun to use. I wanted to actually have fun playing my games, and I wanted to use Dabinia really badly, and this card is so good, I'm stunned. Still holds up after 30 games, and also, I did not record my rewards. Well, I accidentally didn't. I attempted to, and I finally got a decent red Bonmati, who was literally in my team. Dupe theory, perhaps? Probably. I got a decent red player, so we got Bonmati in there, which is kind of nice. Bonmati and Michael Ballack is very, very good, by the way. Want to try him out about 385. He's now like 650 or something like that, so we'll talk about the crazy market movements here in a sec, because the pack weight seems really bad on these cards. Actually, the really good ones, that is. Okay, here's a clip that was going around Reddit. Mark 11, World Cup finalist last year's thoughts on the current eafc meta, calls it disgusting, skill gap is pretty low. Let's play the clip.
And you mentioned there about the meta, and you found it a little bit light. What have you made of the meta this year? Obviously, so many people looking for those aerial plus players into their team. You a fan of it, or not so much?
It's disgusting. It's probably the worst ever like meta in any year I've played. Like, I've only played for 4 years, and this one is so bad. Like, I think the skill gap's pretty low, to be honest with you, but I guess you have to just play and adapt to whatever they give you.
And this guy's face says, oops, was he supposed to say that? I don't know if they were expecting him to say like, oh, it's just different, you got to adapt and be better, but instead he's like, oh, it's just disgusting, it's terrible. So thank God, by the way. If you've watched any pro event this year, it's actually horrible to watch. This is why in other esports that are successful, there are GAs and gentlemen agreements to ban things like this, but EA, I'm sure, don't allow that to even happen. They can say, hey, we're gonna ban aerial plus, you can't use it. You can use base aerial, or you can't even use aerial players at all, perhaps. There's things they can do to make it more entertaining, but they don't give a fuck. The players I'm talking about, because they know this esport is going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. They're well aware of that. The way things are set up with ultimate teams having to qualify, I mean, you know the whole 9 yards. You have to spend 10K to fucking try and qualify. Like, who the hell's doing that? It's gate kept by money. Everybody here knows it. This guy knows it. He knows it damn well. Mark knows it. He's at least saying something about it, right? How bad the meta is, and how just like in terms of the growth of the esport, it's not going anywhere because it never is going to, the way it's set up right now. Now, I understand that the aerial plus balance is gonna be hard to find because you want to make like taller players very usable, right? You want to have taller players have that advantage in certain ways. Now, is there that balance to find? Maybe that's really difficult to find. I'm not sure, but either way, the pro scene, we don't need to like worry about that, because I don't even think we should give a fuck. It's not going anywhere. Like, it's by not going anywhere, I mean, yeah, no, it actually will stay around for a long time, but it's not gonna actually go up anywhere, because how would it? It's not entertaining to watch the most of the time. At the way the current gameplay is, they make it dumbed down to the point where it's not like you can watch a pro player and be like, oh my god, that guy is fucking insane very often. You sometimes can. You can get glimpses of it, because obviously they're super talented, right? But the game doesn't allow them to like express their talent in a way that's meaningful and satisfying to watch at all. It's not like that. This guy says, I love how actual professional players, people who play this game for a living, say the game is shit, and yet there are always random EA bootlickers who will disagree and defend the game. LMAO. Now, there's something to be said for like a game experience being different for a casual player than a player who plays the game for hours and hours a day. I get that for sure, but an underrated part of how bad this game has been this year has been the gameplay aspect. The gameplay has been terrible this year. I think that's like, I know an extremely not unpopular opinion. It's a lukewarm take, right? I'm not saying anything new here, but last year the content wasn't ridiculously good, but the gameplay was pretty good, so people just kind of kept playing it because it was actually fun in the summertime to play the game. And yes, there's been a fuck ton of mistakes, and the mistakes have been terribly egregious, like no doubt about that. People would be willing to look more past that if the gameplay was at least as good as last year's. It's not. It's worse, like definitively in my opinion. So you have shit gameplay, you got shit menu content for like the most of the year. It's getting better a little bit, but it's not in the state it should be, in my opinion, you wonder why you're losing people. I mean, what happened? What happened? It makes you wonder. I can rant about this all day, obviously. I'll probably rant and make a long video about this, but I want to know what happened to FC24 and why was it so bad? Like, what's the story behind the amount of glitches, the gameplay being bad? Like, what's the story behind this? Was it just, hey, we fucked up this year? Or was it like internal struggles? What's the story? I wish we would ever hear that. I don't know. And staying on Reddit quickly, the pack weight has apparently been terrible, right? People have been talking about that for a while. That like the first promo for the Euros was pretty good in terms of pack weight. This promo though has been really bad in terms of pack weight. And it's just that thing where we are in June now, the middle of June, and the pack weight is obviously worse this year than it was last year. And just think about an 85 times 10, right? If they give you an 85-10 right now, are you convinced you would get a special card in the 85-10? I'm not actually convinced I would get one, like guaranteed. I'm really not convinced at all. That shows you the level of how bad the pack weight has gotten. They can give us an 85-10 right now that was repeatable like 5 times a day. I don't think it'd make that much of a difference, actually. I don't think it would because the pack weight's so bad. And think about the gamble packs now, too. I mean, here's one right now. You've got AC FUT Trader who tweeted out 92 plus PTG, GOTG, MYM pack, which is Path to Glory, Greats at the Game, or Make Your Mark Team 1 player rated 92 or higher, most likely via an SBC. And when you open this pack, you know, you could like look at the top 8 players, right? All these top 8 players are all what, 2 million plus coins. Asaka's right around that 2 million coin mark, but Palmer's like 2 point something, Saliba's like 3 mil, Leao, Dalglish, Militao, like all these guys, right? Go watch 50 of these being opened. Will you see one of these 8? Is a genuine question. You are not sure if you will. So we can praise them for giving us good content, giving us more gamble packs, but you can't get anything in the gamble packs. At least, of course, you can theoretically get something, but it's significantly worse than it was in the past. So this is the problem when people say, you know, the content has been really good recently. I've actually said it myself too, you know, a couple times since maybe the last month. I'm like, oh, the content's pretty good right now. But when the pack weight goes away, it all dries up immediately because that pack weight the game's not good enough to have shit pack weight in June. It's not good enough. It won't hold people on it for long enough. It's not going to. So we gotta, like, I'm tired of this. I think you guys all are too. Stop spending money on this game because the pack weight isn't going to change this year probably, and you gotta hope it does next year because I think for the rest of this year we know what it's going to look like. If you spend money at the start of next year's game, you are just going to contribute more and more to this issue. Another day of the Euros, we got more upgrades. Let's take a look at all of them here. Barcola SBC owners are going to get a +1. Love to see that. Romania players, sorry, are getting the +1 as well. Slovakia players also getting a little upgrade there. We keep looking. We've got, yeah, season pass Ratio, I want to say. He's getting the +1. Mudryk made an appearance. He's got the chemistry, and so does Dragogy there. Getting the win and the appearance. So that's nice to see. And I tweeted this out today because I want to see what people's reaction was to this because, like, it was one of my hot takes that a hill I will die on. And N'Golo Kante today was brilliant. I mean, he was absolutely fantastic. The fact he's in Saudi Arabia playing right now, it sucks. He's still got it, right? I know it wasn't against a crazy good team, but it just shows you how good he still can be. One of the most impactful players of the last decade, apart from Ronaldo and Messi, obviously, maybe the most apart from those two. I will die on this hill. Everything this guy touched in the 2010s, mid 2010s to late 2010s was turned to gold. I mean, everything. Every team he went to was immediately 3 times better. He was maybe the most important player in Leicester City winning a Premier League title before he was even in his prime. And I'm happy Kante does get his recognition more than most DMs do. Most DMs, I feel like, are super, super impactful and important. And Kante does, because I think he played in the Prem for a long time, gets that respect. Some don't, because I think maybe the, you know, English fans didn't see them as much or whatever. Do I sound like a salty Serie A watcher? Yes, I do. Also, FUT Zone, here we are again. FIFA 2K could be announced Q4 2024. I could be gay. I could be. Lightning could strike me right now. You won't see this video being uploaded. But luckily, if you're seeing this, that means it probably didn't. But I want to say something good about EA quickly because I've been shitting on them this entire video. So let's say something good. Arda Güler came out. 4 great playstyle pluses. This is a great card. It's not that expensive. Real Madrid links. He can get better chemistry too, considering, you know, he gets makes 1 tournament appearance. Great card. I think this is fantastic. The playstyle is very, very good. 4 great playstyle pluses. Finesse shot too. No complaints here. I think this card's really, really good. I also got the market here because it's actually interesting. We've seen some changes because the pack weight really bad on these cards, which is in turn changing a lot of things on the market. So these cards are all super duper expensive. I mean, they're borderline not affordable. All the usable guys. Nico Williams like 500k, so he's like kind of affordable, but also like, can you call 500k affordable? I don't know. A lot of these cards, because they're so expensive, are making the market actually go up right now. These icons especially, I kind of wish I would have called this one. I didn't. I feel like I missed a really easy chance to make a lot of coins and you guys a lot of coins, because when you think about icons right now, I mean, they're so useful for chemistry all the time, right? We know that there's not that many in the power curve anymore, in terms of like obviously in the power curve that are like elite, right? There's not actually that many anymore. Plus, they can get 4 playstyle pluses, which a lot of icons don't even have 3 right now, and they're upgradable in live and stuff like that. So these were kind of guaranteed to rise. I thought they would kind of stay the same, and some of them maybe will go up. They're undervalued to get like a certain great playstyle plus, but these have skyrocketed. My Michael Bellick I bought for 380, 680. I wish I would have bought 5 of them. I feel like I missed a huge boat here. What does it even mean? I missed a huge boat? I don't know. But George Haji's 1.7 mil because Romania won, and this card was, I mean, yeah, it's not at 1.1. He was 1.1 million 4 days ago. If you manage to buy one of him, you're up 500k, which is crazy. And we are gonna get a team 2 of this, so there is going to be some things we need to think about for team 2 when that comes up, because I think there's gonna be some good buys here actually. And also at the same time right now, am I expecting the market to stay up super high for very long? No. A lot of people did the England weekend league, and they're buying back their main teams again. So you're seeing a lot of buyback here on the really good cards that are not English, and the English cards obviously are seeing a big sell-off still, right? Harry Kane down to 401. He was 650 at his peak, right? Like he's going way down. So a lot of the English cards getting sold off a lot, and then the other cards getting bought back. So it's kind of a little bit of a false inflation, but also it kind of just shows you how bad the pack weight is. Okay, let's read your comments now. The first thing I'm gonna do is actually plug one of my old videos. Benjamin commented saying, I believe every single one of these. I made a FIFA conspiracy iceberg video many years ago. Well, wait, what? A year and a half ago or something like that. I think it was like a year and a half ago. I've not been doing this for many years. I don't know why I almost said it many years ago. Hutch6797, prepare for very similar gameplay next year. Unfortunately, confirmed. I don't know where you got this info from. If this is correct, I might put a hole straight in my drywall. I hope it's not similar. I mean, it probably is going to be, if we're being honest here. Like, it's not kid ourselves. It's probably going to be pretty similar. FIFA 23 and this game are pretty similar, but the play styles obviously made a huge difference, and the gameplay is way worse. So we could still see a better game next year. Please, can we see it? I'm begging for my own sanity, for our sanity together. Alan says, due to the late upload, I had nothing to listen to this morning whilst walking my dog. I had to listen to the birds singing instead, which just isn't the same. I'm so sorry. I'm glad I can be part of you and your dog's morning routine. JA says, on style, keep up the faster pace. Reminds me of FaZe Jev's style. And Jev actually is somebody who I super respect. And I've always loved his cut com since 2013 when I started watching them, and it's been 10 years, and my content actually is inspired a lot by him. There were a couple comments yesterday saying like, where did you get these ratings from? And I didn't really explain it that well. I feel like they're just the head-to-head ratings currently right now. All the players' play styles, their exact ratings right now on head-to-head. At the newest update, this is what they were. So that's the ratings yesterday. Obviously, there'll be changes in there, but it's a good indication as to what they'll be next year. JW, you're gonna play College Football 25, JFC. I probably will, to be honest with you. I do want to say though, you know, I'm gonna play a different game on my second channel coming up shortly. I think I want to play a horror game. No bullshit. I've never played a horror game my entire life, and I feel like that would just be super fun for me, and hopefully fun for you guys too. I don't know if it would be or not, but it's kind of what I want to do, honestly. I feel like, so I might start doing that shortly. I don't know what horror game to play though. If you guys played horror games, let me know. And the most upvoted comment yesterday was Abacus. If Son loses finesse shot, I'll be devastated because he has the best finesse shot in the game. Also, America's making the semis in the Copa America. Eagle emoji, eagle emojis. I don't think there's any way Son loses finesse shot. I feel like he's the most obvious finesse shot player, like one of the most obvious ones. And don't sleep on America, all right? Don't sleep. I understand that, you know, our form hasn't been great recently. We obviously drew with Brazil, which is a good result, but I think it's a matter of time until we kind of have a breakout tournament performance, like making a semis of something. It could be this one. I don't think it's going to be, but it could be this one. I think maybe like the next one would be the one, letting our boys develop a little bit. But yeah, I think that's all. Thank you for being here. I love you all. Since